Good morning. Today we are going to take the second part of our third chapter. Let's regain our feet. So, last class or previous class, we have studied about different kinds of farming methods and scientifically what we call all those farming methods. We have studied that rearing of cattle for milk and meat, and that is cattle livestock management. We have studied then keeping or rearing of birds for egg and meat, that is poultry farming. Then keeping of bees for getting honey and wax, that is apiculture. Then we have studied that rearing of rabbit for meat and some varieties for fur. That is known as cuniculture. Then cultivation of mushroom, that is known as mushroom cultivation. Then keeping of or rearing of fish is called as pisciculture. Then silkworm, rearing of silkworm for the production of silk that we have studied. Likewise, sericulture, and that method is known as sericulture. Likewise, so many methods and varieties also we have studied in the last class. This class is a continuation of that, two topics from that, and then we will study about the new method of farming. I think this first is the floriculture, as a continuation of that. One of the cultivation method is the floriculture. Floriculture means the cultivation of flowering plants on commercial basis. Commercial basis means we are not cultivating these flowering plants just to make a garden in our home, but for the commercial basis, that is, we are selling that in the market in order to get the money. So on that basis, if we are cultivating the flowers, such cultivation is known as the floriculture. Okay. Then the next is the horticulture. Horticulture means the cultivation of fruits and vegetables on the commercial basis. We are cultivating fruits and vegetables for our daily use in our house, for our purpose only. But if we are cultivating in order to sell it in the market, in order to get us profit from that, in order to earn money from that, for all those purposes, for commercial purpose, if we are cultivating the fruits and vegetables, it is known as horticulture. Okay. മാർക്കറ്റിലേക്ക് വിൽക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഫ്ലവേഴ്സ് കൾട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനാണ് പറയുന്നത് ഫ്ലോറിക്കൾച്ചർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലെ ഗാർഡൻ അല്ല, നമ്മൾ മാർക്കറ്റിലേക്ക് സെൽ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൾട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫ്ലവേഴ്സിനെ കൾട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനാണ് പറയുന്നത് ഫ്ലോറിക്കൾച്ചർ. ആൻഡ് ഫ്രൂട്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് വെജിറ്റബിൾസ് വി ആർ cultivating in order to sell in the market, it's known as the horticulture. This is clear for you. Then next is the modern techniques of farming. Okay, so in olden days we were doing the farming only in the field or only in the soil, but nowadays because as science has improved, we can see many modern techniques. One of the modern technique of farming, I will introduce you. First one is the polyhouse farming. In this technique of farming, you can see that it's an arrangement in which the crop field is partially or fully covered with a polythene sheet. So it's the side of the sheet will be covered with the net. And so in this polyhouse, what will happen, as it is fully or partially covered with the polythene sheet and its sides also covered with the net, the pest infestation will be less. Pest in the attack, insect pest ഒക്കെ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് എൻട്രി ചെയ്യാനുള്ള പോസിബിലിറ്റി കുറവായതുകൊണ്ട് ഇത് pest attack less ആയിരിക്കും in polyhouse farming. Then another thing is, inside this polyhouse farming, temperature and moisture, everything is controlled by ourselves. ഇവിടെ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് റെയിൻ കിട്ടുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് സൺലൈറ്റ് ഫോളോ ചെയ്യുന്നതല്ല ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ സൺലൈറ്റ് കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഇതിന്റെ ഉള്ളിലത്തെ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറും പിന്നെ വാട്ടർ അവൈലബിലിറ്റി, മോയ്സ്ചർ കണ്ടന്റും എല്ലാം we are controlling it. Then in this, the nutrients are dissolved in water and are supplied to the plants by drip irrigation. Drip irrigation, by this method of irrigation, drip irrigation pipe, connected pipelines will be there, and in the root of each ഓരോ ചെടിയുടെയും കടക്കിലേക്ക് droplets of water reach ചെയ്യുന്ന തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു മെക്കാനിസം ആണ് drip irrigation. And in this kind of irrigation, what they are doing, they are mixing this fertilizers, manure in the water and giving this nutrients in the water and giving through the water. Then polyhouse farming is very expensive method, but we will get more amount of profit from this type of farming and more yield, greater times than that of the regular field. So ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന പെട്ടെന്ന് നമുക്ക് പോളിഹൗസിന്റെ സെറ്റപ്പ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോളിഹൗസ് സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു എമൗണ്ട് ചെലവാകുമെങ്കിലും നോർമൽ ഫീൽഡിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഇരട്ടി ലാഭം കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു നോർമൽ ഫീൽഡിനേക്കാളും ഇരട്ടി ലാഭം കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു മെത്തേഡാണ് പോളിഹൗസ് ഫാമിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ for its infrastructure, for making a setup like this, we have expense of money, but at the same time the yield from this polyhouse will be high, and that is the benefit of this polyhouse farming. Then another benefit of this polyhouse farming is pest infestation will be less, pest attack will be less. Then the third benefit is as we are regulating the moisture and temperature inside this polyhouse, the growth of the plant will be rapid, fast growth of the plant we can see inside this polyhouse farming. I think you understood this kind of farming. Now we can see the next kind of modern technique farming, that is precision farming. And we can see the next type, that is precision farming. In this kind of farming, you can see that the plant, the area where the plant is there, it is covered with a polythene sheet. So it is covered with a polythene sheet. As it is covered with a polythene sheet, the weeds will not grow. Weeds means unwanted plants will not grow around that plant. So the nutrients that is getting to this plant will not be lost anywhere. So in this method, then another thing is, in this method, the nature of the soil, the quantity of elements in the soil, we have studied that 20 essential elements are needed for the growth of the plant. So if we are going to do the farming in that field, and whether these 20 essential elements are present in that field, that we are testing. Then pH value of the soil we will be testing. Then presence of water in that soil will be tested. After testing all these things, only we are doing the farming there. And in this farming method, what they are doing, they are covering the soil, and they are covering the soil with a polythene sheet, so that we can effectively control the weeds. Weeds means the growth of the unwanted plants, and also we can effectively limit the irrigation also. So the water providing to that plant will be effectively go to that plant itself. It will not be spread to other part and will not be lost. So lost wastage of water can be controlled. We can limit the irrigation. At the same time, unwanted growth of the unwanted plants will be weeds will be controlled. Okay, this is the benefit of this kind of irrigation or precision farming. And this kind of farming, that is precision farming. So two types of modern methods we have studied now. One is the polyhouse farming, and the next is the precision farming. Okay, these two are modern techniques of farming methods. Okay, as we are facing nowadays, we are facing change in the climate. So in order to overcome this challenge of change in the climatic condition and flood. Likewise, so many difficulties we are facing. So, change in the climatic condition can be overcome by with the help of this polyhouse farming. Understood? Because as we are using the polythene, we are covering the field with the polythene sheet, and the climate and the temperature and the moisture inside that field is controlled by ourselves. So this climatic challenge can be overcome with the help of our polyhouse farming. Okay, and precision farming is also a good method of farming. Will help us to increase our yield of production. Next, we have heard that without the soil, we can't do any cultivation, is it? So, but nowadays, as science has developed, it has found out that cultivation without soil, there are two methods. That one is the hydroponics, and the next is the aeroponics. Hydro means one related to water. Now we can see the hydroponics related to water, how we are doing the cultivation in the water. In this arrangement, you can see that the plants are dipped and the plants will be dipped in a nutrient solution. There is no soil inside that PVC pipe. Okay, it's a PVC pipe and holes are made in that. Inside that, soil is not present. Okay, this plants are growing in the nutrient solution. So for the growth of the plant, I have told you 20 essential elements are needed for the growth of the plant. So the plants will absorb the nutrients. The nutrients is that mixed with the water that they are dipping. So they are mixing the nutrients in the water. Those nutrients are absorbed by these plants and they are effectively growing that nutrient solution. Water പ്ലാന്റ് വളരുന്നത് സോയിലല്ല, വാട്ടറിലാണ്. ഒരു ന്യൂട്രിയൻ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആണ്. ആ വാട്ടറിൽ തന്നെ ഈ പ്ലാന്റിന് ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യാൻ ആവശ്യമായുള്ള എല്ലാ മിനറൽസും അതിൽ മിക്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിലാണ് പ്ലാന്റ് ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ സോയിൽ ലെസ് കൾച്ചർ ആണ് ഹൈഡ്രോപോണിക്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. വാട്ടറിൽ ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് അതിന്റെ പേര്. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോൺ ആസ് ദ ഹൈഡ്രോപോണിക്സ്. Next, we can see the next method of soilless culture is aeroponics. As its name indicates, the roots are hanging in the air. You can see the roots hanging in the air, and you can see some small potatoes on that root. That is potatoes, small tuber potatoes. So that is on this root that is hanging in the air. This also, can we see any soil there? No, the roots are hanging directly in the air. Normally, can we see the roots outside like this hanging? No, the root soil will go underground. സാധാരണ ഒരു പ്ലാന്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കൾട്ടിവേഷൻ നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് പൊട്ടാറ്റോസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിലും റൂട്ട് എല്ലാം സോയിലിന്റെ അണ്ടറിലാണ്. ഇത് ഇറ്റ്സ് എൻറ്റയർലി ഡിഫറെന്റ്. Here soil is not used, so the roots are hanging in the air, and its name is aeroponic. So the water and the water solution, nutrient mixed water solution is sprayed on these roots, and the roots are absorbing that, and the plant is growing. Understood? It's a modern technique. So aeroponics, the roots are hanging in the air and we are spraying the nutrient solution on the roots of the plant. Is it clear for you? These are the modern techniques of farming. So we have studied about polyhouse farming, precision farming, hydroponics and aeroponics. Among these, hydroponics and aeroponics are the soilless cultivation. Okay. Now we can see the native varieties for tomorrow. Native varieties means the varieties that we are seeing in our locality around our living place. That is the native varieties. And these native varieties are also known as indigenous varieties. Okay, native varieties is also known as indigenous varieties. But nowadays, these indigenous varieties are extincted from our earth or under the verge of extinction. വംശനാശ ഭീഷണി നേരിട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നശിച്ചുപോയ ഒരുപാട് indigenous local varieties are there in our locality because we are not preserving those things. Understood? But we should understand the importance of those varieties, and we should conserve and preserve those varieties. Okay, first thing is what is the importance of these indigenous varieties? They are having the natural immunity and by adapting to the climate of that place. ഒരു പ്ലേസിലെ ആ ചെടിയുടെ ആ ലൊക്കാലിറ്റിയിലെ അവിടുത്തെ പ്ലേസിലെ ക്ലൈമറ്റ്, അവൈലബിലിറ്റി ഓഫ് ഫുഡ്, ആ സോയിലിന്റെ ടെക്സ്ചർ, ആ സോയിലിനോട് എല്ലാം അഡാപ്റ്റഡ് ആയിരിക്കും ഒരു ഇൻഡിജിനസ് വെറൈറ്റി ഓർ നേറ്റീവ് വെറൈറ്റി. അവിടുത്തെ ലോക്കലി ഗ്രോയിങ് പ്ലാന്റ് ഇതിനോടെല്ലാം അഡാപ്റ്റഡ് ആയിരിക്കും. Then another thing is extinction, and they are high disease resistant and low cost of management also. Cattle varieties ആണെങ്കിലും plants ആണെങ്കിലും അവരുടെ low cost of management ആണ് ആവശ്യം. Then another thing is they are very high disease resistant. അസുഖങ്ങൾ പെട്ടെന്ന് അവർക്ക് ഉണ്ടാകും. Next thing is extinction of these indigenous varieties. What will happen when these indigenous varieties or natural varieties are extincted from our earth? If they have vanished or gone from our earth, what will happen? Depletion of our biological wealth. It will result in the depletion of our biological wealth. Then losing invaluable treasure. We are losing an invaluable treasure. So it's a great treasure for us. So if we are not conserving these indigenous or native varieties for our future generation, we will lose. They will lose, but they lose this invaluable treasure for them. Then we cannot develop new high qualities varieties, hybrid varieties. Nowadays we are getting hybrid varieties. These hybrid varieties are developed with the help of this indigenous varieties. Okay, so we cannot develop, if indigenous varieties are not there, we cannot develop the hybrid varieties in order to get a high yield. Here you can see some varieties, indigenous, locally available varieties of mango. Muandan, Kilichundan. Muandan, it's a very common name and a common mango, kind of mango tree seen in our locality. So two kinds of indigenous varieties or native varieties of mango is Muandan and Kilichundan. Then plantain. Plantain means param. Okay, and plantain, Nyalikuvan and Palangodan. That also two native varieties, Nyalikuvan and Palangodan. I think you all have heard about this name. It's a local name and locally available variety. Then cow. About the cow. Vechu and Kasaragod Pulla, about the cow varieties. Then goat, Malabari and Attapadi black. Malabari and Attapadi black are the native varieties of goat. So this is about the native varieties and the indigenous varieties. You have to study about this. It's an important topic. Then we have in this chapter we were always telling about the crisis faced by the farmers, and how we can overcome these crises. We can see it now. We can see in the tabular column how we can overcome the crisis. So here you can see in the tabular column challenges and problems. First one is the climatic change. In order to face the climatic change, two kinds of farming method. One is the polyhouse farming and the hydroponics. You have studied what is polyhouse farming now, and you know the hydroponics also. Then environmental destruction and health hazards. How we can avoid this? We can escape from this environmental destruction and the health hazards. That is scientific maneuvering. Then integrated pest management. Then biological waste management. Integrated pest management and all you have studied. Then cost of production, how we can reduce the cost of production by the use of microbial fertilizers and the integrated farming. These are the two methods. And remaining now we can see the next tabular column. That is crop loss. Crop loss, polyhouse farming, then open precision farming, then integrated pest management. Then limited space. For those who are having limited space, they can do the hydroponics aeroponics, terrace farming. Then loss for the farmers, profit loss. And for such things, nowadays, two organizations are working for the helping of the farmers. So that is supporting organizations and online organizations. That is the farmers with the help of these farmers can store their product in online gathering. Farmers societies, they can store their products, and when the rise in the market, price rise in the market increase for that product, at that time they can sell their products. No need of middleman. ഇടനിലക്കാരുടെ ആവശ്യമില്ലാതെ തന്നെ ഫാമേഴ്സിന് അവരുടെ പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ് സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു ഇത് കൊടുക്കുന്നു, അവസരം കൊടുക്കുന്നു. എന്നിട്ട് ഫാമേഴ്സിന് അവരുടെ പ്രൊഡക്ട്സിന്റെ വില മാർക്കറ്റിൽ ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ആ സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്ത പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് അവർക്ക് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ സെൽ ചെയ്യും. Then online gathering, online ആയിട്ട് nowadays ഇതിനുള്ള ഓൺലൈൻ ആയിട്ട് മാർക്കറ്റിംഗ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള അവസരം ഒരുപാടാണ്. So nowadays they can sell their products through the online gathering. So no need of middleman. So like that they can reduce the loss, profit. They can earn more profit and reduce the loss of money by giving their one part of their profit to the middleman. I think it's clear for you how to overcome the challenges faced by the farmers and how they can get better yield, better profit from their farming methods, new kind of farming methods. So if you are having any doubt regarding today's class, you can clear it through the WhatsApp. So thank you.